back inside City Hall. Earlier today, our next guest endorsed Barack Obama in the race for president. Here to tell us why and to discuss his union's new deal with the city is the president of the Correction Officers Benevolent Association, Norman Seabrook. Thank you so much for being here tonight.
Good evening. How are you?
So why an Illinois senator for president? We have Hillary Clinton running in our own backyard and also Rudy Giuliani on the Republican side. So why Senator Obama?
Well, the first answer to that is we had an Illinois president once before. That was Abraham Lincoln. To answer that question, I think that Senator Barack Obama is qualified to be the President of the United States of America. I take nothing away from Mr. Giuliani, who I know, nor do I take anything away from Senator Clinton. But I think that now is the time to remotivate this country, to really move forward from the past practices that we faced for so many years. My daughter turned 20 years old today, and the only two names that she could tell me presidency-wise was Bush or Clinton. And I think it's time that we move forward and do what's necessary in this country to create more jobs for the blue-collar workers, and those are the things that the senator has pledged to do.
What is his position or his record on public safety specifically?
Well, his record on public safety, I think, speaks for itself when he talks about that he refused to support the war in Iraq. That is the most important issue that any one person can take a position on. When he sat there in the chambers and said he will not support the war, he will not support the men and women of some of our children going overseas to die for something that was unnecessary, I think that his record on safety proves it right then and there of what needs to be done.
But to be fair, he wasn't a voting member of the U.S. Senate at that time. He can say whether he wants, but when push comes to shove and he has to make a vote, he wasn't there. He wasn't present.
Well, he wasn't present at the time, but I think that he could have just as easily supported the war, knowing full well that he would be running for president of the United States to give himself a platform to speak on the war. But not supporting the war, I think, and not being a voting member at the time gave him more of an opportunity to voice his opinion. He didn't go too far with it. He let the people know that this war was unnecessary to go into, and there are some parents out there watching this show right now that agrees with him.
Well, as a parent of your 20-year-old daughter, happy birthday to her, first of all. But you mentioned that she only recognizes Bush and Clinton as two names of people holding the presidency. Are you saying there's some kind of fatigue around the Clinton name, around the Clinton couple?
Not the Clinton couple. I think Bill Clinton was a dynamic individual. I think George Bush, the father, and George Bush, the son, both did what they thought was necessary for the country. However, I see now an opportunity for America to move forward. I see opportunities for America to have a broad relationship with countries other than the United States. And I think the senator said it very admirably today when he said that he will not refuse to speak with his enemies. He will speak with them. I think John F. Kennedy was the one that said, do not fear your enemies, or do not fear, what you have to say to them. And I think that that's what's important. And by him taking that position, I think it clearly states that, he wants to move this country into a direction where we need to be as opposed to where we are.
At the same time, he said that he would meet with leaders of different countries. You should also realize that there are different diplomatic relations there, and it could be very dicey. Do you think that he should meet with people regardless of any kind of agreement beforehand? I mean, just given the controversy around the Iranian president being here today, it's just an example of the very dicey situation that leaders in the world, when they meet and talk, could actually perform.
Well, I think that, and let's talk about the Iranian president for a moment. Barack has the opinion of everybody is allowed to have free speech. And I think, and I'm quoting him correctly when he said that he would not have invited him to come to Columbia, but that was up to the president of the school to do that. So as a nation, a free world, we have this luxury, we have this right to be able to do that. And I think that it all depends on what the outcome of the meeting comes to that makes us go forward. But if you don't talk or find out what your enemy or what your adversaries are talking about, then how can you correct the problem that we're faced with?
And how did this whole situation come about? Did the Obama campaign reach out to you? Did you talk to them? And what about the Clinton campaign?
I was talking to the senator, as a matter of fact, when I was in California. The senator and I, we spoke in California. The senator and I spoke again here in New York City a few months ago, and the senator and I continue to speak with each other, and I continue to speak with members of his campaign. As far as the Clinton administration is concerned, I've seen Mrs. Clinton from time to time and said hello and very politely, but it's never been a let's sit down and really talk about the issues that concern New York City correctional officers. Let's talk about the issues that concern the country and how do we move forward from where we are right now. So those things never happened, and I'm not one, as you know, to sit on the fence and wait for something to happen. I believe correctional officers make something happen. We did that with Michael Bloomberg, when every union in the city of New York supported Mark Green for mayor of the city of New York. We were the only organization to support Michael Bloomberg for mayor. Mike's the mayor.
Well, what about Michael Bloomberg for president? There's been some rumors that he may put his hat in the ring, and what would you do in that situation?
Stay tuned.
Do you think he'll make a good president?
I think Mike will be a fantastic president, but I don't know if the country right now is ready for independence as opposed to the politics of Democrat and Republicans. So I think that if Mike was really considering running for president of the United States, I kind of think that he should have started it just a little bit earlier, because as we go into January, it really gets really close to where we need to be at in the Democratic primary, and for him to step in as an independent at that time sort of like clouds the waters just a little bit. So I think Michael is really happy doing what he does, and I take him at word that he's not running for president of the United States.
So what will we see you be doing for the Obama campaign and also your members? Where do you go from here?
Well, I think that I know that where we go from here is we hit the ground running. Thursday is a rally in Manhattan here in the park, and we're going to go out there and we're going to have correctional officers as marshals, ensuring the safety and security of not only the people but also the senator along with Secret Service. I think that what happens now is we take our show on the road. I go to wherever there is a blue-collar working organization that wishes to press the flesh and talk about Senator Barack Obama and talk about the visions that he brings to the country as opposed to the visions that he brings simply to a local area. I think this is a national issue. I think this is something that we need to really concentrate on. I think that the momentum of the people that are contributing $2 and contributing $5 are voting members, and I think that was going to make the difference in this race. It's very simple for a person to write a check for $2,300, but when you get 2,300 individuals to give you $1 a piece, that makes all the difference.
And you talked about vision, and we're almost out of time, but vision doesn't mean experience, and he's been criticized about his experience. Do you think he has the experience to be president?
I think he is more than qualified to be president, and as far as his experience is concerned, Bill Clinton didn't have experience when he went into the White House. Hillary Clinton doesn't have experience if she goes to the White House. None of the individuals that we're talking about have experience. Experience comes with educating yourself on a day-to-day basis. There is no individual that is born on the face of this earth that is put into a position that makes that decision. I mean, in my opinion, I think if the people gave Barack the opportunity to lead this country, they will see that he will be able to eliminate all the diversiveness that goes on, all the problems that we face in the Middle East and other countries. I think that he'd be able to sit down and bring a table together of people that are now concerned to move this country forward.
All right. Well, we look forward to having you back at the table sometime soon. Thank you so much, Norman.
Thank you. Thank you very much
for your comments tonight. It's time for a break. Up next, we'll ask our Consultants Corner if